Salut mes gourmands! Today we're making a Vietnamese dumpling called Bánh, Trần. It's not difficult to make, however it does take a bit of time to prepare and combine all of the ingredients, which there actually aren't that many of. Stay tuned for the full list of ingredients. For 12 dumplings, which equal 3 to 4 servings, we'll need 200 grams or 7 ounces of peeled mung beans, 700 ml or 3 cups of water, 400 grams or 14 ounces of glutinous rice flour, 350 ml or 12 ounces of water, 200 grams or 7 ounces of prawns, deveined and cut, 200 grams or 7 ounces of minced meat, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, 30 ml or 1 ounce of fish sauce, 1 tablespoon of sugar, dried prawns to your liking, and scallion oil. Here's what the packaging of the mung beans, which I'm using today, looks like. Any brand is fine, by the way, though the cooking time will always vary slightly depending on the dryness and age of the beans, which may also be the case even with 2 packages from the same brand. Rinse the beans to make sure there's no dirt left on them. Transfer the beans into your rice cooker and fill it with 700 ml or 3 cups of water. The surface of the water should lie approximately half a finger segment above the surface of the beans. Close the lid and hit the cook button on your rice cooker. Stay near the cooker because the water is going to rise to the top very quickly. You can check by opening the lid every once in a while in case you don't have a translucent lid. When the water has risen to the top, open the lid to prevent the water from overflowing. Continue to cook the mung beans with the lid opened until the water is evaporized and until the cook button jumps up again. You can transfer the mung beans to a bowl, and now they're easily mashable with the back of a spoon. If you should find that they're a bit dry, you can add a little bit of flavor neutral cooking oil to the beans to make the paste even smoother. Cut the deveined prawns into pieces of about 5 mm or 1/5 of an inch thickness. Traditionally, you would mince them, though not too finely. I, however, like them a bit chunkier for a more interesting texture. In a skillet, heat up some oil over high until it has reached cooking temperature. Then, turn the heat down to medium. Stir fry the garlic until golden and add the minced meat. Sauté until golden brown. Add in the sugar as well as the fish sauce and stir to combine. Add the prawn to the meat and stir fry, giving it time to absorb the rich flavors of the sauce. Once the sauce has caramelized and reduced, which will probably take about 5 to 7 minutes, combine the meat and prawn mixture with the mung bean paste. As you can see, it's super easy to form balls with filling as is, and I didn't even add in any oil. To simplify the process, I like to pre-divide the filling. I'll divide it into quarters first, and then each quarter will be divided into thirds again, which totals in 12 pieces. Now that we're done with the filling, let's quickly make the shell before everything dries out. This is what the glutinous flour I'm using looks like, by the way. Add the water to the flour bit by bit while kneading continuously to make sure the water distributes evenly within the dough. Don't add in all of the water at once because the amount of water you need might vary each time you make the dough, so it's better to add in little by little and to observe it. You're aiming for a dough that's smooth to the touch and which doesn't stick to your hands. If you should end up with too little water, then just add in more. If you added in too much water, you can balance it out with a bit of glutinous rice flour. If you ran out of flour, just keep kneading. The heat from your hands will eventually dry out the dough and therefore get rid of the exceeding amount of water. It just takes some time. Rub 3 plates with cling foil to prevent the dumplings from sticking to them. You can also grease the plates with oil. I, however, think cling foil works best. Now we want to roll the filling into round balls. Try to work quickly to avoid having the filling dry out. After that, we want to divide our wrapping dough into equal portions. Therefore, twist the dough into halves, take a half and twist it in 2 again. Divide the quarter into 3 equal portions and you have the right amount to cover 1 ball of filling. Let's wrap the dumplings. First, I like to roll around the wrapping dough between the palms of my hands until it becomes a more or less round ball. Then I like to push it flat to a round disc, which is slightly thicker in the middle where the filling rests on. I place the filling onto the center and wrap the wrapping around the filling. If there isn't enough dough to cover all of the filling, gently push the leftover dough from the bottom and the sides up to where you need it. Once again, roll the dumpling between your palms to properly seal it and to receive a perfectly round dumpling. Place it on the plate, which you have prepared in advance, and continue wrapping the other balls of filling. In a pot, bring some water to a boil. Make sure you have enough water to fully immerse the dumplings in. Once the water is boiling, you can gently place the dumplings into the water. Cook them until they swim up to the surface, which indicates that they are done. Transfer the dumplings on the plate and brush them with some oil to prevent them from sticking to one another. I'm reusing my plates that are wrapped with cling foil, as it really helps with removing the dumplings from the plates once they have cooled down. Cook the rest of the dumplings in the same manner. For the garnishing, we'll need some scallion oil, which is basically just as many scallions cut into rings as you like. Saute it in some hot oil for a couple of seconds. If you'd like to see how it is made, check out my video for Bánh bột lọc or caramelized chicken and prawn dumplings. The other thing we need is tôm cháy, dried prawn flakes. You can easily make them by grinding up as many small shrimp as you like. You could use bigger prawns if you have nothing else on hand. I, however, recommend buying some small shrimp as they're cheaper and you can't really tell the difference once they're ground up. Soak the dried shrimps in some hot water for about half an hour. Strain the shrimps and pat them dry with a paper towel. Give them a few pulses in your grinder until they look like this. Transfer to a skillet and saute the ground shrimps over medium-high without oil until they're dry. Make sure they're completely dry, otherwise they might mold. Serve the dumplings with a bit of scallion and shrimp flakes on top and some fish sauce dip on the side, which your guests can then drizzle on top of the dumplings if they choose to. Bon appétit! My mom loves these dumplings, so whenever I have the time, I make a bunch for my family. Personally, I love to add some sriracha or chili flakes to add that spicy thing, but they're also delicious as they are. Hopefully, the wrapping doesn't scare you off, as it is really much simpler than it sounds, and with some practice, every cooking novice should be able to wrap the fillings with ease. Thank you so much for coming over to my kitchen this week. If you liked this video, then please take a second to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more Asian delicacies and international patisserie. If you have any questions, suggestions, or if you'd simply like to say hi, then feel free to leave me a comment in the section down below. If you're proud of your recreation, then please show me your masterpiece by tagging me on either Instagram or Twitter. I hope to see you soon again when I post another recipe. À la prochaine, bye!